Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the College Football Weekly podcast. I'm your host, Hunter Woodward, and with me today, as always, are my co-hosts.
Hunter Cottle.
And Chandler Bloodworth.
Welcome back, Chandler. Been
Welcome
a
back,
while.
Chandler. Let's go.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So, we've made a deal with Chandler. No money involved because we don't have that kind of money yet.
Cheddar.
But cheddar, yeah. But he'll be with us depending on how many weeks he is able to do this. But yeah, let's hop right into this. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, thank you for watching our YouTube. If you aren't, go check us out on YouTube at College FB Weekly and on Insta at College FBW. So, any notes before we jump into the Week 1 Top 25 results?
Let's get into it.
All right. So, for our Week 1 Top 25 results, the number 1 Georgia versus UT Martin. Georgia won 48-7. I mean, first game of the year for them, pretty easy. Not hard, not a challenge for them at all. Brock Bowers, as we saw, was definitely their superstar
player of that game. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that's all he was throwing to was Brock Bowers, and he seemed untacklable that game. But it is a UT Martin, so we'll have to see.
When they start playing ranked teams later in the season.
Yep. 10th week of the season. But besides that, the offense was kind of off to a slow start. They didn't score a whole lot of points. They did later in the game, but I mean, everybody's tired on UT Martin to have more guys to put in at Georgia. So you like to see them start a little faster as being number one because you see a bunch of fast offenses right now. And it's so hard to be number one coming after winning a natty. I mean, it's one of the hardest things to do in college football. So, and to keep that same drive you had from last year to this year with a whole new scheme, whole new offense. So, we'll see later on in the year. They play Ole Miss, 10th week, but they also play South Carolina, rival game to them.
Right.
In 2 weeks. So that should be good too. But overall, they shouldn't move down anything. So
no. Reigning champs. It's day one until they've been defeated. So let's move on to number 2. Michigan versus East Carolina. Michigan putting up only 30 points to 3. I know a team has scored less, but this is in East Carolina where we see, I mean, it was a good first game for them without Jim Harbaugh, but I mean, it's like without him, even when they have their star players still in a full roster, they're not as strong without Jim Harbaugh or just weak.
It just comes down to him being used to being there and them being used to him being there. So, I mean, when you just take it out of the category, they're going to get used to not being around him. But when he comes around, I think it'll flip around for him a little bit. I mean, it was a good game. They still moved the ball very well. They did a tribute for him at the beginning of the game, so that was pretty cool. And you see J.J. McCarthy had a free Harbaugh shirt.
That. Yeah,
that was tough.
I have on my notes here, I got the Michigan. The ECU has some problems on every side of the offense and defense.
Yeah.
Watch that preview.
Probably one of the worst ECU teams I've seen in a while. So
I mean, they couldn't stop Michigan's throwing game. The cornerbacks were getting burnt. D-line could not. It looked like it was impossible to get to the quarterback because of Michigan's O-line. But that is not a ranked team. It's a team.
Their first 3, that's the best time for Harbaugh to be out.
Yep. Then again, we have to see what Michigan does with a real team.
Yep. Coming later in the season. So, jumping to number 3, we have Ohio State at Indiana. Ohio State only winning 23-3. New starting quarterback, but I'm happy it's a 1-0. It's a conference win. I'll take it. But it looked very sloppy. Our defense looked great, but the same. I can't wait. It looks better in corners. Corners look better.
We didn't have a lot
of pressure.
So you have really good running backs, and that carries the whole offense. for y'all right now. But
Right.
you can lean on it. If you can lean on a good running game, I mean,
Yeah.
you
And
know,
not
y'all
being
got
able
big.
to throw to our star receivers. I mean,
Yeah.
holding them to 5 catches combined.
That's
Tight end
not
being the
good.
best.
Ohio State had an explosive start. Their run game was incredible against Indiana. Indiana couldn't keep up with the run game. It was good reads all across Ohio's defense and offense.
Right.
And Ohio State has some misreads, but it's the first game.
Yeah, first
Yeah.
game, new QB.
Everybody's getting back into that feeling. Then you still got 14 games to go.
Yep.
Hopefully.
Day's got to stop calling the plays
Yeah, that's
on
that might
offense at
change.
least.
That might change in a few games.
Yeah, that should. I don't know why they haven't gone to Heartline for that.
That was a
But, I
tough
mean,
game. Tough game to check that down on because he
If
could have
it-
called really good plays and just wasn't open.
If Indiana's offense was anything decent, they could have beat us easily.
Yeah, I think
Like,
so.
Just running a triple option most of the game. It was pretty
When are they
sloppy
going
on
to learn?
Indiana's.
They're not going to win football games like that anymore.
No. That's why after the first 3 they put up, it was just lights out on defense, giving up. They went for 4th down so many times and just
Yeah,
failed. I mean, we were like 2 for 15 in 3rd downs, but it's crazy. Moving on to number 4, we've got Alabama versus MTSU. Alabama won 56-7. That's a big game. I mean, big blowout. Not a big game, but
yeah.
it's MTSU.
Biggest game, and yeah. I mean, they got Texas. Well, we'll get into that, but they have Texas this coming week, so we get to really see who they are. I mean, they have a really good running quarterback, and when Alabama has a good running quarterback, it's just unstoppable.
Oh, yeah.
Usually, so
Milroe.
yeah,
He's Jalen
that boy's
Milroe.
quick.
Yeah.
Boy's quick.
Moving on to number 5, we've got LSU versus number 8, Florida State. Florida State winning 45-24. Florida State going lights out after halftime with a 31-0 run. It's insane. It's amazing.
Very
Actually,
fast.
LSU was leading 17-14 at halftime. And then right
Yep.
after halftime, Florida State. LSU's O-line didn't block good enough. Their receivers dropped needed catches, and their quarterback overthrew a lot. So
Yeah, and he didn't really make the right reads, which last year
No.
we saw he got off to a really slow start last year as well.
yeah,
Also losing to Florida State. So I really do think he's going to have a good rest of the year. But as far as the Florida State, man,
Florida State was all around better. Just, I mean,
they look good.
quarterback,
They look good right now.
secondaries, their wide receivers are.
Is it
They're
that,
good.
or is the LSU DBs not DBU this year?
They're not
Because they were getting burnt every play, and even on
wheel
curls, they weren't.
routes.
I mean, so with them, we'll see. It's with both teams.
Right.
LSU has a tougher schedule coming down. The wire. They play Alabama, and they're going to try to get back in the SEC championship game and hope
Right.
stun somebody.
Right.
But
Not a
their
conference
defense,
loss.
yeah, their defense has to get better though, because Florida State. I mean, first game of the week. There's a lot of teams that have played a bad first week and then got better, and
Yeah.
usually SEC teams in general do that. So I mean, it should get interesting. And Florida State, they have a tougher schedule too. They go to Clemson in a few weeks, week 4. And they play Florida. Florida's not good, but it's a rival game, and we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, LSU was explosive in that first quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were.
By that second quarter, they started making those mistakes, dropping the ball, missed tackles, missed reads.
Went downhill quick.
Yeah, you can't have a
Quick for
defense with
LSU.
an offense.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Moving on to number 6, USC versus Nevada. USC won 66-14. Their defense looked a lot more solid this game. Yet it is still Nevada, but I mean,
Usually, I mean, they gave up a lot of points to San Jose, so
Yeah. Caleb Williams. Man, the rollout pass
yeah, he
dropped a
is.
dime.
It's nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've got a big schedule maybe for them, and they could
Yeah.
really mess things up.
Oregon,
They got a lot of ranked
UCLA.
teams.
UCLA didn't look bad last week.
UCLA's coming to. No. It's Cal, right? Cal's coming. Who's all coming to the ACC?
It's Cal, Stanford, and SMU.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's none of those teams. They're going to the Big Ten, and yeah, they're going to have a good rival game at the end of the year. They also play Notre Dame. Notre Dame's got a tough schedule, so
Hmm. They got to win out.
and
So
Oregon, they play Oregon as well, and Colorado.
Colorado, we'll come up on
Colorado.
that.
Oh, we're gonna get to them. We're gonna get
We're
to
gonna
them.
get to that.
That's looking in.
Anyways,
They're in.
anyways, let's move on to number 7, Penn State versus West Virginia. Penn State 38-15. I mean, it was it wasn't a big blowout for Penn State, but they really completed everything that they needed to when they needed to. So, I mean, good win for them, but it's not a good West Virginia team like used to be.
No, but I think the game would have been a little different if it was at West Virginia. Because I
Yeah,
mean, you go into Penn State your first game, that's a nightmare.
that
Okay.
is a nightmare.
That's a nightmare going there in general. So if you're an opposing team, now if you're Penn State, you love that crowd. But one of the
Right.
best fans in the game. But other than that, it's a tough place to play. And West Virginia, they got rid of JT Daniels, and you know, I didn't really think their offense was going to be a whole lot this year with a young quarterback coming in, which he looks like
Right.
he could be okay. But then again, you know, you can't. It's Penn State at home. Penn State
Right.
looked really sharp on offense. They look really good. Defense,
Eh,
I just kind of look at them and I say, can they stop Michigan? Can they stop Ohio State? And the answer to
right.
that question after I watched that was Ohio State's offense looked a little rough. If they fix it by the time they play them, then yeah, it'll be a good game to watch. But
That'll be a great
I
game.
don't. I think they could stop them just a little bit. Michigan, you're not gonna be able to stop Blake Corum, and
Right.
by the time they play them, oh, Jim Harbaugh is gonna be back, and I think they'll be rallied together. So
Definitely.
yeah, I mean they look good, but it's at home, kind of
It's good. A good starting game for them.
yes,
Um, then number 8, Florida State. Just talked about it against number 5, LSU. Big win for
yeah.
opening week, college game day.
Mike Norvell, man, he's
Or not college game day.
yeah, it should have been honestly, but it was on a Sunday,
Yeah.
so I understand. But
Gotta have weird schedules.
yeah, they at Florida State they looked really really quick on defense.
Right.
So that's a big thing. Looking forward, can they stay the same? Because last year they also started off fast and they lost a couple iffy games, lost to Clemson at home.
Their
But
red zone defense is good.
yeah, it is, and especially JT Daniels. He scored what, maybe 10 later in the season rushing touchdowns in the
Right.
red zone. So he was coming off of being hot.
Only holding him to 1 all game.
Yeah, that's not only impressive, but then again, it's week 1. Let's see what
Hmm.
they do. They play
There's a
Clemson in a few weeks.
whole rest of the year waiting for him.
Yeah,
Then number 9, Clemson at Duke. Duke won 28-7. Um,
yeah.
road game. Duke's been wanting it for 34 years. I'm gonna let y'all talk about this one a little bit as Clemson fans.
Go ahead, Chandler.
Well, first off, we can't be dropping the ball like that. It can happen every once in a while, but we really need to get a grip of the ball. There's no There's no explanation. I mean, it was a hard game for us. I mean, it was a hard game. We lost.
2 red zone fumbles and
Um,
2 turnovers.
yeah, Will Shipley being a star player on Clemson's side, he got the only touchdown.
Yeah,
Um,
and he's not a wide receiver. So
yeah, he is not a wide receiver. No, no, sir, he is not. Um, but
y'all are gonna
but
see how that affects how this
I,
loss
I
affects
think I
Clemson.
think I think this is a wake up call. I think they're gonna wake up after this week and they're gonna just ball out, have a great time. K Klubnik's gonna go over there and throw for 800 yards. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Riley Leonard, Duke's quarterback, played a pretty good game considering it was number 9 team in the nation.
Yeah, there was some calls that were missed, but
There's always.
yeah, I mean it's referees. I mean they can't see everything.
Yeah. How did y'all react to the defensive struggles? You had like the missed tackle on Riley,
Yeah, a lot of missed tackles.
and a lot of missed tackles.
Yeah, with experienced players. I mean, it can happen to
Yeah.
anybody.
Okay.
I just want to say, as a Clemson fan, diehard Clemson fan, I have not seen them lose a first game since Georgia. But before that, there were 180 games and 2 losses out of those. So here's the good thing about this. On Clemson's side, lose early. Don't lose late. Do not lose late. We're not making the right plays right now. It's a first game, away game. Not very big stadium, not a very tough crowd, but they wanted it. It was a basketball school and they showed up. They're wearing basketball shirts and jerseys. So, we beat them in basketball, so they had to do it back. Other than that, our defense was really solid. They need to get off the field. Our offense needs to stay on the field. K Klubnik needs to make the right reads. And he's making it look like we don't have any weapons, and we do. We have Adam Randall. I don't know why Cole Turner is starting. Okay, that's my number one pet peeve. He's not Hunter Renfrow. Get him on the bench. Put him in later when Adam Randall is, he's not doing good. Put Adam Randall, Bo Collins. You got Jake Brennan-Stool, our tight end. You've got it all. Why not use those weapons? Instead, we just run Will Shipley, which if you're going to run on the, rely on the running game, rely on it. Do it. Don't do these half butt screens or
Right.
put him in a slot where he's running a slant up the middle on a coverage defense. Okay, just it's not even good. So they have 2 people always watching him anyway because why not? He's been getting the ball the whole night. So in our defense, a lot of missed tackles, yes, a lot of missed tackles, but we have got to get to the quarterback. A lot of young defensive linemen on there,
Right.
and they have learned that it's no joke. You need to do it. Okay, we just need to get the quarterback. There's no way he breaks 2 tackles and goes all the way down the sideline for a touchdown. There's no way that happens again this year. And I have Clemson beating Florida State in a few weeks and beating Notre Dame and beating North Carolina and beating everybody that's in front of us, and we're going to make the playoffs. And you heard it here first. So that's all I got. We'll see y'all. See y'all in late November when we're ranked again back up there. I like 25. We'll be sitting there for a little bit. But when we beat Florida State, don't say nothing. We'll see, man.
We'll
I
see.
love my Tigers, but
I'm gonna cut your tangent off.
go ahead.
Moving on to the next team.
I had to
We've
get
got
that off
number
my chest for a while.
Yeah. We've got number 10, Washington versus Boise State. Washington won 56-19. Washington showed up, beat
Michael Penix.
yeah, he is him right now for
Yeah, he's
the
a
state
dot.
of Washington. He is really good. They had a lot of good offense. Gave up a couple points against Boise State. Boise State, not a bad team either. They're usually
Yeah.
looking in. So, that's all I have to say about that game. Let's move on to number 11, Texas versus Rice. Texas beating Rice 37-10. Didn't watch a lot of that game. I mean, I saw
Yeah, I
some
did.
plays by Quinn Ewers, threw for like 2 or 3 touchdowns,
Yeah.
something like that. Had a
And
good
he,
first game for him.
and he ran. He actually ran the football. So
Yeah,
they got a really good running back they can rely on. It's not Bijan Robinson, but it's it's reliable. That was fun. We get to see them play Bama, so I can't
yeah.
wait for that.
You'll talk about that a lot, a
Hmm.
lot once we get to it. Uh, then we got number 12, Tennessee versus Virginia. Tennessee won 49-13. You know, still allowing some points, but good, good, good couple stops for the Tennessee defense.
Yeah.
Uh, Quarterback situation, they don't have any true struggle right now. So I think they're chilling until start playing ranked teams. We got number 13, Notre Dame versus Tennessee State. Notre Dame won 56-3, looked a lot better in this game than they did in their opener.
Yeah.
So I think everything's going good for Notre Dame right now. They'll play most likely a ranked Clemson, because y'all play them before Florida State or after.
No, we play
Okay,
Florida State week 4.
okay, then most definitely a ranked Clemson if they keep y'all in, even if it's against unranked losses or unranked teams like how they dropped Iowa out.
What was the score with the Notre Dame Navy game? That was a blowout, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. It
Yeah.
was like,
Well, this.
except they allowed a touchdown late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So,
that's gonna.
and
Notre
that was
Dame's
in
waking up.
Ireland. That was in Ireland. So they basically got 2 home games back to back.
Yeah.
We got number 14, Utah versus Florida. Utah winning 24-11 without Cam Rising. They
Again,
looked they looked
they
they looked
man,
all
they are
right.
good.
They
Yeah.
looked all right, but Florida showed up for, I mean, not their offense really, but their defense got some good crucial stops in.
They've
Um,
got to keep a quarterback for more than 2 years. I mean,
yeah,
gosh,
yeah,
it's a new quarterback every year for them, and that's a big issue. But I mean, Utah, man, they ran the offense just like how they would with Cam Rising, and I
right.
like that. Their
Big
defense is
opening,
solid.
big opening touchdown for
Yeah.
Utah. Moving on to number 15, we had Oregon versus Portland State. Keep in mind this is Portland State. Oregon won 81-7, putting up so many touchdowns. It was insane. They had 3 different quarterbacks in who threw for a touchdown.
I think
I'm
Bo Nix
almost
is
positive.
wanting that Heisman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He plays like that every game and
Yeah,
plays a
he's
team
got.
like that every game.
Nah,
So,
he got to play Colorado.
yeah. So, good luck with Travis Hunter and Shador.
Yeah. Mm.
So, anyway, so let's move on to number 16, Kansas State versus Southeastern Missouri. They Kansas State won 45-0.
Yeah, that was a. There's not really much to tell from this game,
No,
so
It's a little
not at all.
school. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, Kansas State, I didn't watch a lot, but they showed up big time last year against TCU in their conference championship. So I think that deserves their rank that they're at now. We're going to see them move up, I think, a couple of spots this next week. Speaking of TCU, number 17 TCU versus Colorado. Colorado won 45-42. Travis Hunter played over 100 snaps, and Shador Sanders broke a school record the first game he was there in passing yards.
we got a lot to say, and I'm glad that Colorado won this game. Picked them to win this game, and
Yeah.
Travis Hunter is what does Dion say? A dog. Okay, he's a dog. All right, and Shador, man, he's really accurate. I
Yeah,
mean, it's just
it's
not a name.
crazy,
It's not a name for him. You know, I mean, you could take that name and put it somewhere else, and he would still
right?
play like that. So I like this. I like this little team they got going on. They got
Good
a
thing
lot
for
of
Colorado on an
yeah,
opener game against a ranked opponent away.
yeah.
I mean, great
At a
win for
team
Colorado.
that was just in the Natty. Of course, different players, but still,
Right. It's kind of two back-to-back just embarrassments for TCU after seeing them lose. It's
mm,
crazy. Max Duggan would be crying and
he
how
is.
disappointed. Yeah. Next we got number 18, Oregon State at San Jose State. Oregon State won 42-17. Oregon State's not USC, so couldn't put up a little bit more score.
DJ did a
Yeah,
good job.
DJ did a
DJ.
great job.
Actually, guys, I'm gonna have to say, yeah, he did. I mean, he played San Jose State, but at the
Yeah.
same time, he's not gonna have that much time in the pocket every game
No.
against
No, he's not.
Oregon. His brother's gonna sack him, but other than that, glad to see DJ get a win. I mean, that's very good, very good.
Yeah. At least he
That's
did
all
it
vibe.
there.
Yeah.
He can do
Well,
it there.
yeah.
So, moving on, number 19, Wisconsin played versus Buffalo. Wisconsin won 38-17. Not a strong showing for Wisconsin against a team like Buffalo, but I mean, Buffalo brought the heat. I mean, they really did. First half, I forget what the score was. It wasn't too big of a spread at halftime, but
I
I
feel
mean,
like these.
Wisconsin,
I
yeah,
feel like these
good.
schools, these little schools, when they get a chance to play a well-known school that's not ranked, for
Hmm.
instance, I don't know, I'm gonna use South
Indiana,
Carolina, Indiana.
yeah,
When these little schools get to play no ranked, well-known schools, I guess they want to try to show what they have their first week. Um, I mean,
yeah,
it's I
they
mean
show
it's
out. They
been
bring everything they
yeah,
have
yep,
because it's a make it or break it for their season.
yep.
They've got to beat that team. So everything comes out, everything in every single playbook they've ever had comes out, and it's insane what they can pull out of their pocket. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Tell me about it.
this could this could possibly be a good ranked Big Ten Wisconsin team too. So
Chandler, by the way,
well,
Duke is not a small school.
yeah, yeah. And at number 20, we have Oklahoma versus Arkansas State. Oklahoma won 73-0. Big
Offense looks
shocking game.
fast.
That was a big shocker.
Explosive.
That's your favorite word, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good word.
Yes,
Fast,
it is.
explosive. They were, directing. They knew what they wanted, and they went out there and got it.
Yeah, Oklahoma played great
Dylan
for
Gabriel,
yeah,
really good.
for a game against Arkansas State. I mean, you think they were at the same skill level after last season, Oklahoma,
Yep.
but no, they showed out. Um, and number 21, we have North Carolina versus South Carolina, college game day. Um, North Carolina winning by 31 or winning 31-17. Wonderful. Drake
Love it.
May. Drake May.
Beamer ball.
Chandler, you got
That out of
anything to
here.
say about that game?
North Carolina, I mean ACC on top.
Okay. Moving on to number 22, Ole Miss versus Mercer. Ole Miss won 73-7. I didn't watch a lot of this game. Uh, only really saw a couple parts, but Ole Miss starting out, they had a good first half.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. Another SEC team that's going to stay ranked for a good amount of time. So it's just going to happen. Number 23, we have Texas A&M versus New Mexico. Texas A&M won 52-10. Another
Yep.
SEC team.
Mm.
Shocking they scored that much. So, I mean, Texas A&M played well. The defense looked sloppy at some points, but all around, great game for Texas A&M.
They play
Uh,
Miami next week.
yeah, it's gonna be a good game for them. Number 24, Tulane versus South Alabama. Tulane won 37-17. Tulane staying in the top 25.
They play Ole Miss later. I don't really remember when, but they play them this year, and that's gonna be awesome to see
If they
Tulane whip up on them.
if they win out, Tulane could jump up towards the tens, like in the tens, not in the top 10.
That'd be
No.
cool.
Then last but not least, we have number 25, Iowa versus Utah State. Iowa won 24-14. And they drop the next week. So
Yeah,
in rank, Iowa played pretty sloppy. I mean, their offense scored. They have a decent offense. Their defense didn't really show up like it needed to against Utah State.
yeah.
But I mean, a win's a win. I don't know why. It's every single Big Ten team besides Penn State, or not even Penn State. Every single Big Ten team in the top 25 played sloppy week one. So it's just gonna get better as it goes on. Any
Yep.
more remarks about the past week of football? Any big game? What's the biggest game y'all saw?
My favorite game probably was TCU versus Colorado. It was very
Yep.
cool to see Colorado do their thing. That was awesome to see. Travis Hunter is a beast. I hope if he doesn't win Heisman, Caleb Williams will. But Travis Hunter he's that dude. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, the Coastal
South
UCLA
Carolina,
game.
North Carolina.
Yeah, that was yeah. I mean,
It was good. It just got very slow.
yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Chandler?
South Carolina, North Carolina.
Okay, I got you. I gotta pick the obvious. LSU, FSU, just for the second half for Florida State. I mean, the first half was the best half
Yeah.
in general, but I mean, LSU just looked pretty bad after that. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Let's move on to the week 2 AP top 25. We got at number 1, didn't move at all, Georgia with 58 first place votes. They play Ball State this Saturday at 12 and have the spread by 42.
Yay.
Yeah.
They play
So,
nobody.
yeah, they play at home again. So I'm not really sure how they have 2 back-to-backs, just like other teams. So lucky.
Yeah.
Staying the same at number 2, we have Michigan with 2 first place votes. They play UNLV this Saturday at 3:30. And Michigan has a spread by 36.5.
That's realistic.
Yeah, that's very realistic. UNLV should not have a chance in this game, and Michigan should beat them by more than they beat. I mean,
Yeah.
it's so bad. Like their first 4 games, I mean, they don't have a very big schedule besides Ohio State and
And
later
Penn
ranked
State.
games, maybe if Penn State doesn't fall out.
Well, that's y'all's
Um,
big games too.
yeah, I know. Everybody in the Big Ten East has the same big games. So,
Yep.
yeah, let's move on to number 3, jumping up 1 spot. We have Alabama. They play number 11, Texas, this Saturday at 7. And Alabama has a spread by 7. And it's college game day at home in Tuscaloosa. What do y'all think about that?
I'm ready for this to be this. I'm ready for Texas. I want Texas to win the game. Do I think they will? I don't think so. The way their defenses looked, it can't handle Jalen Milroe.
No.
That dude's a beast. So we'll see. I think Alabama's defense is more polished, but then again, we thought this last year. So
Right.
If
this game.
if Texas can stop Jalen, then I mean it might. I mean
They'll have a chance. I don't think.
Texas.
I mean,
I don't think Texas is going to win. I think Texas will put up a fight. This is a big game.
Yeah.
But now that it's in Alabama territory, they sure got to bring it if they want to beat Alabama.
Yeah.
Yep.
I want Texas to win. I
Yeah,
really
I do
do,
too.
because I don't want a 1-2 SEC team. That would be awful, especially if Alabama were to jump into number one. I don't think that would happen. But I think even though I want Texas to win, I think they're a purposely set game right there just so they can jump in rankings.
Yeah.
So I think Alabama by 13 plus.
Yeah, in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, making the
It's gonna
Texas
be
fans sit in nosebleeds.
yeah, and the band. They're
Yeah.
gonna get this game is weird because Alabama doesn't really lose at home like that, especially big time games like this, besides LSU. But
Yeah.
I mean that's just because they play each other every year. But other than that, it should be a really cool game to watch. I like to see quote unquote blue bloods of football play against each
Yeah.
other. Always
It's gonna
historic.
be this is gonna be the best game day so far this year, only week 2, but I
Yeah.
mean later in the season I think game day is gonna be absolutely great.
Yeah, week 4 is gonna be wild.
We'll see how the end of Alabama's season works for them. If they do happen to lose to Texas, I think they still make top 4 with an SEC championship loss or win because
Yeah.
of just how the ranks are. And depending by how much. So, jumping up 4 spots into number 4. I have Florida State with 3 first place votes. They
Go
play
ahead and put them up
Southern.
there.
They play Southern Miss this Saturday at 8:30. And Florida State is set to win by 30. Um, I really hope Florida State messes up somewhere in their journey just so Ohio State can be back in the top 4. But I mean, seeing Michigan drop 30 on an East Carolina and having them score 3 and having us play away in a conference game against Indiana, a technical rival, and us dropping, it's kind of like, why didn't we both drop?
Well,
If it's going to
Michigan.
be like that.
I mean, they're just kind of. I guess what the rankings are doing is just looking forward because that's what it seems like at this point.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's gonna all come out. I mean, the AP doesn't matter the most. It's when the
yeah,
CFP comes out, but it's just
you
like
still like to be.
you still like to be up there.
Usually know the top 4 teams when the CFP rankings come out. So
Yeah. So, I mean, everything else is wonky, but we'll see how it ends. Next at number 5, we have Ohio State, who dropped down 2 spots. They play Youngstown State this Saturday at 12 p.m. and there's no spread. I'll be at that game. So
let's go.
hopefully I can watch a big win at home, and I won't have to stress out for 3.5 hours.
Yeah,
I can yell out loud. I can actually
you'll
scream.
be with all of your friends there.
Yeah. Moving on to number 6, we have USC. They play Stanford this Saturday at 10:30 p.m. USC is set to win by 29. That's 10:30 p.m. Eastern. So,
Big game for Stanford. I think Caleb
right.
Williams gets to showcase once again why he should win Heisman again. But that is one of the games that they could slip up in.
They
could see that.
They could definitely make a few mistakes. I think they'll come out with it, but we'll see their weaknesses most likely.
Yeah.
being their third game already. Uh, number 7, Penn State. They play Delaware this Saturday at 12 p.m. No spread. It's going to be a blowout.
Yeah.
Delaware, it's just not going to happen. Jumping up 2 spots at number 8, we have Washington. They play Tulsa this Saturday at 5 p.m. and Washington is set to win by 34. Uh, we just watched Washington have a good game against Boise State and win at home. So they get to win at home again this week, most likely. Michael Penix, I think he throws for over 3 touchdowns at
Yeah.
least. At least. So we'll see. Um, at number 9, we have moving up 3 spots. Tennessee, they play Austin P this Saturday at 5 p.m. No spread.
Man, the SEC is playing tough people. Wow.
Yeah, the strongest schedules, right? Strongest schedule in the nation because we all play each other and somehow are always ranked whenever we
And
play each other.
Georgia played Austin Pay and now Tennessee.
Yeah.
Come
Who knows? I don't know where these teams are getting that tough of schedules. Like, where are they even finding these teams?
on. Yeah.
Then we have at number 10, moving up 3 spots, we have Notre Dame at NC State this Saturday at 12 p.m. Notre Dame set to win by only 7.5.
And let me tell you why. NC State is a tough place to play. And they want to beat Notre Dame.
Oh yeah.
Because if they beat Notre Dame, they're going to be top 15. And, they haven't shown – NC State hasn't shown they have a good offense or anything like that. But it's one of those games, again, where the little guy wants to beat the big guy. And
Right.
Notre Dame is the big guy right now. They're a hot team. And we'll see if they put up a lot of points at NC State, man, we're going to have a lot of good teams this year.
Yeah, hopefully Notre Dame's defense shows up in an away game.
Yeah.
For them, I mean, it's going to be good. It's a good game for Notre
Yeah.
Dame. Number 11, Texas at number 3, Alabama. Just talked about it this Saturday at 7 p.m. College game day. Jumping up 2 spots, we have number 12, Utah. They play at Baylor this Saturday at 12 p.m. Utah is set to win by 8.
They should win by way more than that. Baylor
They
lost to a small school. So
It's
I think Utah is going to absolutely obliterate Baylor. So
yeah,
we'll
I
see.
believe that too. Especially after TCU's field goal kick last year.
Yeah.
See the strengths and weaknesses of Baylor. Moving on to number 13, jumping up 2 spots, we have Oregon at Texas Tech this Saturday at 7 p.m. Oregon only set to win by 6.5.
Bigger game than people are going to take it for granted. So Texas Tech has a really good offense. They run a lot of screen pass delays. So they run the ball, or it's a check down basically. So they're going to either run the ball or slip it out to a screen. And usually that screen is quick. But Oregon,
Yeah,
they might put up a lot of points again. So we'll see.
we'll have to see how explosive their offense is.
Yeah.
Number 14, dropping down 9 spots, we have LSU. They play Grambling at home. LSU, the Bayou.
Mm-hmm.
On this Saturday at 7:30 p.m. No spread. It's a go-ahead game. Pretty much on to the next week. They're already practicing for next week, next 3
Yeah.
weeks most likely. I mean, LSU, we're gonna see how strong they are, even against no-name teams. So it's just gonna come down to the wire.
Yeah.
Jumping up 1 spot, now at number 15, we have Kansas State. They play Troy this Saturday at 12 p.m. And Kansas State is set to win by 16.5. We saw how strong Troy was last year. They had a 10-win season, which is shocking.
Yeah,
And
they
played
haven't
in the
done
bowl
that.
game that they won.
Yeah.
So
Very good year for them last year.
this could be a good year for Troy if they beat Kansas State. It really could. They don't have a really strong schedule, but it's Troy. It's a lower class
Yeah.
football team, not a lower class school. Um, but I think it's a good game for Troy. They could pull an upset possibly. Uh, moving on to number 16, we have jumping up 2 spots, Oregon State. They play UC Davis this Saturday at 9 p.m. No spread. Woo!
I do like to see DJ is playing good, but I want to see them get to him and see what he does in that position.
And pressure.
So yeah, let's see.
We won't see that. I don't think too bad until they play a ranked game. So, I mean,
Their
they
offensive
could
line
have
is
an
doing
upset
good.
game during the year, but this isn't that week. So,
No.
jumping up 4 spots at number 17, we have North Carolina. They're playing App State this Saturday at 5:15 p.m. And North Carolina is set to win by 18. App State's the upset team.
Mm-hmm.
They ruin everybody's year.
It's at North Carolina, right?
Yes, it is. It's at,
Give me Drake May and Mac Brown.
yeah. Yeah.
They're on a
We'll have to
mission. They
see.
look
Yeah,
good.
App State has to be at home to pull an upset,
Yeah.
especially over the last year. Um, number 18, jumping up 2 spots, Oklahoma. They play SMU at 6 p.m. this Saturday. Oklahoma set to win by 15.5. Where's the Oklahoma we just saw last week? I mean, why aren't they getting that good of a spread against an
Yeah.
SMU? Was it a fluke? Most likely.
That's what they
But,
think.
I mean, SMU previously had Garrett Riley. Now they don't. So I don't think their offense is going to be too strong. So yeah, I got Oklahoma by more than 15 if they're as good as they
Yeah.
are supposed to be. Staying still at number 20 or number 19, we have Wisconsin at Washington State this Saturday at 7:30 p.m. and Wisconsin set to win by 6.
Yeah, I was about to say I think this game might be a Wazoo game.
Yeah,
I know you're probably hoping Wisconsin wins
not.
this game, but
Yeah, I'm hoping they stay ranked for
yeah,
a good while, but it doesn't
yeah.
matter to me.
But I think Wazoo's gonna take this one. I don't know why. I just
I
think
could see it.
Wisconsin's been ranked for too long, and it's only week 2.
Yeah, this isn't like 2014 where they stay
Yeah,
ranked. Um, moving on to 20, we got jumping up 2 spots. Ole Miss, they play at number 24 Tulane this Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Ole Miss set to win by 7.5.
that's the game I was talking about. I think Tulane will
Tulane
win this
upset.
game.
Tulane upset. I think
I think
that's
they
the upset
will.
of the week
Yep,
for me.
me too. That's week fun to watch.
This is gonna be great to watch, especially at 3:30 on a Saturday.
Yeah,
Let's
that should be
go.
a. Let's go. That should man. That was close to game day right there.
Right. Only Alabama and Texas could be lesser ranked. And
Yeah.
they could be up there. Uh, previously unranked, now number 21, we got Duke. They play Lafayette this Saturday at 6 p.m. There's no spread. They just came into the top 25. There's usually not spreads unless it's going to be a super close game or
Yep.
it's a big top 25 team. But yeah, I think Duke wins, maybe. I haven't seen a lot of Lafayette, but I've seen the one game of Duke so far, so I think Duke takes it.
Yep.
Previously unranked, now number 22, Colorado. They play Nebraska this Saturday at 12 p.m. Colorado set to win by only 3. Matt
First
Rule.
game.
Coach
First
Prime.
game. Yes, sir. First game in Colorado. Boulder, baby. Let's go. Travis Hunter's gonna be in them. Defense and offense.
Dion versus Matt Rule.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say
I'd rather
it's
take
prime time.
Dion. Yeah, it's prime time. Yeah, I got Colorado all day over Nebraska.
Yes.
I mean, we saw Nebraska last week against Minnesota, and they gave up 14 points in the last 5 minutes of the game to
Yeah, Matt
lose.
Rule's just not a good coach. So
Mm-mm. Can't keep it together too long. Not moving at all. We have number 23 Texas A&M. They play at Miami this Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Texas A&M said to win by 4.5.
yeah, give me the U.
Yeah, that could be a good upset game for
Yep.
Miami to put them in ranked. I think they're set if they can win by at least 13. They're in the top 25.
Yeah.
I think. Can't be a close game. Can't be a close game. Another team that has not moved. We got 24 Tulane. Just talked about them. They're playing number 20 Ole Miss at home this Saturday at 3:30. Ole Miss set to win by 7.5. And
Ride the green
last
wave.
but not least, dropping 16 spots, number 25, we have Clemson versus Charleston Southern. Clemson's going to be at home this Saturday at 2:15. There's no spread. I think that should be an easy win for Clemson against Charleston
Yes.
Southern.
60
Yeah.
points will be dropped. I'm just gonna come out and they're tired of the shenanigans. We lose one game and everybody's on our backs, which is understandable. If that would happen to any other team. But I'm just gonna show y'all some in a few weeks. These games are we didn't realize what Duke was, or at least I didn't. I knew they had a good quarterback, but
Underestimated.
everybody's got a good quarterback now. So, you never know. But yeah, it's an easy game for Clemson. I'll be in Clemson the week after that, so it'll be fun. We're gonna get ready for Florida State.
So speaking of us being at the games, we're going to be taking some video while we're there of our times at the stadiums, at the games, and we'll post that separately than our podcast on our YouTube. Um, but yeah, it should be a nice little couple things we can do. We might be going to games, maybe
Should we say?
together. Nah, because I don't have anything scheduled or yet. Uh, Possibly looked into going to games, maybe, but that's gonna have to depend on work schedules. So yeah, let's there are two teams that dropped out of the top 25 last week. Number 17 TCU, who just lost to Colorado, and number 25 Iowa, who just won against Utah State 24-14. So kicking in the teams who beat them and kicking Iowa out for a sloppy win. So, I mean, you got to make room somehow. And then there's the looking in teams that have a certain amount of votes. We got a lot of teams on here. Iowa's like the first one out just because they are 1-0 and were previously in the top 25. But a couple more besides that, UCLA, Arkansas, TCU, Kentucky, Pittsburgh, Mississippi State, Miami. Miami's on there. So if they win, they got a chance of getting in the top 25.
Gotta be A&M.
Yeah. What do you guys think the upset of the week is? Colorado or no, not Colorado, Miami.
I'm gonna say Miami and then Tulane and Ole Miss.
Okay. Gotcha. No upset on Notre Dame, I don't think.
No, I
I
think
think,
Notre Dame squeaks out.
yeah,
Texas.
Texas is the upset.
I'm
They're
rethinking
definitely
it.
underdog.
I think Texas might. Oh man, it'll be a good game. Be one to tune into.
I gotcha. All right. Well, any closing remarks you guys want to make before we
Go
end this
Tigers.
podcast?
Go Tigers. And Chandler, it's good to have you back, buddy.
Yeah.
Thank you. Go Tigers. Wake up call. Let's wake up. Let's go play some football.
All right. We will see you guys on the next podcast. Thank you guys so much for watching. You can find our YouTube at College FBW or College Football, College FB Weekly, and our Insta at College FBW. Thank you guys so much for watching. hopefully you tune in next week. We're getting this one posted by Thursday or by Friday, hopefully. Um, so yeah, everything should be good, set, and go over the next weeks. We're gonna attempt to be posted on Friday, uh, depending on when games are. So we always post a day before there are games.
Yep.
So that's our schedule, any time of the day. All right, we will see
All
you
right.
guys in the next episode.
Go Tigers.
Peace.
Thank you.